Good day everybody, Johan Swart, Boerboel Academy. I haven't spoken to you for quite a while because, man, I get busy. It might look as if I'm retired, but I'm not. I do actually still have dogs. I own a small accommodation business in Mozambique. And then my other big passion is I grow plants. Behind me is one of the world's rarest coffees. It's a Mozambican indigenous plant, and we grow that. So yes, I do a lot of research about dogs, about plants, about lots of things in life. A while ago, I received a very surprising request. When the whole palaver about crossbreeding and the split between the Boerboel organizations, etc., happened in South Africa, things were different. Things were very difficult for a lot of us. We did not believe absolutely in the direction that was taken. It went to such an extent that some of us even received lawyers' letters saying that you will not be involved in Boerboel matters. Unless you speak for us, you will not be involved, and hereby you get notice that if you do get involved, you will be sued. Right? Fortunately, some of us survived that and went through. Others gave up. Others just simply gave up and moved away and stopped their breeding. And yeah, there were a couple of nasty things that happened. But let's not talk about that. The past is the past, and let's continue into the future. And that is what surprised me, is that eventually one of the major organizations in the world approached me and said, Johan, we want you to come and tell us where we went wrong. We want you to come and tell us why do the dogs not look like Boerboels really anymore? What is the reason for the deviation? Why do we have these very non-Boerboel looking dogs appearing? And just come and talk to us. It's not a finger pointing. It's not a session to blame or whatever. It's simply to go back and say, where did we go wrong, in your opinion, and what happened. Right. The first thing is that I mentioned, and which I will when I do the training eventually of this organization's people, is that I believe one of the first lessons I was taught as a junior appraiser many years ago by the people who were some of the founding figures in the Boerboel organizations in South Africa and in the world was that you start not at the detail of the dog that you see in front of you. You do not start looking at the head, the tail, this and that. You start at the big picture. You have to look at the big picture. You have to say, what I see in front of me, is that a Boerboel or not? The first question is, does this resemble the breed or not? Not, do I score its ears, its paws, its skin, its hair, its this, and then based on a score decide if this is a Boerboel or not. What we called that list of initial criteria was the compulsory disqualifications. Now, compulsory disqualifications, number one was, does the dog appear like a Boerboel? And now I must tell you that many, not even many, a percentage of the dogs that I see nowadays being posted on Facebook and being proudly lauded by breeders as this or that champion does not resemble a Boerboel anymore. Yes, it resembles a giant mastiff, very beautiful giant mastiff, but it does not resemble a Boerboel. It deviates in too many aspects from the breed identity of the Boerboel. They're too big. They've got too much skin. The chests are too deep. The bellies are hanging down. The dogs are no longer fit working animals. They're very beautiful, very large mastiffs, but they're not Boerboels anymore. The second thing that we had to answer was, does the dog behave like a Boerboel? So, for instance, if we came into the ring and a dog came in and he snapped at other dogs, he snapped at people, he was openly aggressive. We were instructed to remove the dog from the ring and not to even evaluate it or appraise it, because it's simply not behaving like a Boerboel. The third thing that we had to look at was, does the dog move like a Boerboel? And now we haven't even started with the appraisal yet, right? We haven't started looking at the conformations. So those three things: does it look like a Boerboel? Does it behave like a Boerboel? Does it move like a Boerboel? Are no longer considered. They're considered somewhere down the evaluation line, and then given a percentage of the score. No, those criteria were initially set up, and if a dog did not meet those criteria, it was immediately disqualified without even proceeding with the rest of the appraisal. So at some stage, somebody took the old breed standard and decided, I know enough to rewrite this. And they totally lost the plot, because they focused on the ears, the nose, the eyes, the chest, the this, the that, and they forgot what the essence of it was. Score became more important than if it belongs to the breed or not. Now let's talk a little bit about score. I see everybody still hampering and running on about the 75%, and if your dog doesn't get 75%, it will be disqualified. It must get above 75%. Where did the 75% thing came from? The 75% thing came from the initial selectors of the Boerboels, who had to go out and make sure that only the top 25% of the dogs that appear in front of them that can positively contribute to the breed got selected. That's where the 75% came from. Nowadays, I see the scoring systems are adjusted that a dog can't really possibly get below 75%. There are factors being brought in. People, it's simple. I think we have to go back and look at a system where we say, correct or not correct, correct or not correct, right? And at the end of the day say, yes, this dog falls in the top 25%. Or should we adjust it and say the dog should be in the top 30% or 40% or top 50%? In other words, it makes no contribution to the breed, a positive contribution. It lies on percentile 50. Or if it lies below the 50th percentile, it means it's going to have a negative impact on the breed. If I see a dog that doesn't even look like a Boerboel and it scored 85%, what does it tell me? It tells me the scoring system lost the plot. They lost the plot in this whole thing, in trying to give a score, a championship award, a title to dogs that are purely based just on the, what do I see in front of me, right? Are the ears correct? Is the nose correct? Does it have thick legs? Does it weigh a lot of kilograms? That's not what it's about. It's about the Boerboel breed. And is this animal going to contribute positively to the Boerboel breed, or is it going to contribute nothing? Or is it going to be and have a negative effect on the breed? And I believe we must go back to that. Even if we have a pre-assessment, in other words, look at the disqualifying factors. What were other disqualifying factors? There's a list. If anybody reads the old breed standard, please understand it. Start at the end. The disqualifying factors, compulsory disqualifying factors, were right at the end of the breed standard. It was wrong. They should have been moved to the front of the breed standard. The breed standard should have started with them. Because if you look at the compulsory disqualifying factors, it says long hair, boom, disqualified, out. Aggression, boom, out. Doesn't look like a Boerboel, boom, out. Doesn't behave like a Boerboel, boom, out. The disqualifying factors were not open to interpretation by an evaluator. They were givens, right? And if you stepped across that line, the core of the appraiser kader, the old breeders that were in charge of this, would have beaten you over the knuckles, and you would have a go back to learner stage. Nowadays, I really find that, yes, there are people with a passion for the breed. Yes, they want to know and to learn. But who are they learning from? At this stage, they're learning from guys who don't really have it. I really believe that we should pull down or pull together a group of people that are really from the older breeders. Why don't I get Marita from Gretchen Boerboels and Vincent Marvel from Marvel Boerboels, and a couple of the old breeders, really old breeders. We get them together and we form a little bit of a quality assurance committee and say, this is not on. Not call some guy and do what they call a realignment or adjusting the eye of the breeder or something like that once a year, of the appraiser once a year. It obviously, if the organization had to come to me and say, Johan, where are we going wrong? That approach obviously doesn't work. Yes, you can make the approach stricter or apply it differently, but the approach at this stage does not work. So, where did we go wrong? Where did the whole breed get taken in the wrong direction? First of all, by not recognizing the compulsory disqualifications. Secondly, by not recognizing what the score was there for. The score was not there to make it a grand champion or a vice secondary junior assistant second vice I don't know, dog, I don't know, there are so many titles. It really gone over my head, and every time there's like a event, there's like titles handed out, and I don't know if you guys really know what the titles mean at the end of the day. Look at how Kusa has done it. You must have a repetition of a title for a certain number of times of winning before you can claim a title, and it all gets recorded very well. It's not at a specific event you have 6 dogs and then you have a reserve grand champion. No, it doesn't work like that. Is that dog positively contributing to the breed or not? Not the breed, not in your mind or your eyes, according to the identity of the breed. The third thing that I find where there was a big mistake made was the identity of the breed was not really known. I mentioned earlier that I think a lot of the training is done by people who still need training themselves. The identity of this breed is not the identity of English Mastiff. If I take just the pure physical characteristics, I can take some English Mastiffs and put them through the appraisal system, and yes, they will get more than 75%. But the 75%, the purpose of that was misunderstood, and the compulsory disqualification criteria was never applied. I took great trouble to try and record what the identity of the breed should be. I started writing a book just as pure training material on the breed standard long ago. And then I realized that there are now so many breed standards, and it depends on which organization I join what the breed standard should be. And breed standards are now personal interpretations of what a specific committee likes or don't like. And that's why I deviated from that, and I wrote a book called The Breed Standard, The Breed Identity of the Boerboel. Now, the breed identity of the Boerboel book is 300 A4 pages. So if you had to divide it into a A5 page, which is a readable format, it's a 600-page book. It's got illustrations in it, it's got pictures in it, and it's not easy reading. Don't think you're going to take the breed identity of the Boerboel book and for a Sunday afternoon quickly sit and browse through it and tell you what, oh, look at this funny story they're telling you. It's not funny stories. This is heavy, hard facts. It goes down to the old breed standards, and it goes down to science. In many instances, I looked at the old breed standards and I could not figure out why certain things, why angulation like this and not like that. And I had to go to other knowledgeable people about mobility, etc., and see what is the situation when it comes to inbreeding. For instance, our breed standards are quiet, but is inbreeding a good thing? No, we now know it. So why can't we bring it into the breed standard and say this is good or this is not good? Right? We have to look at the complete picture of the dogs. And that's what I try to do in this book. I'm not an expert on everything. I could not go into great detail on temperament, on genetics, and things like that, but I tried my best, and I really tried to put together something that is more complete than anything else out there. Now, how do you get my book? I didn't have the capital to print a 300-page A4 book with hardcover, etc. If somebody is willing to donate the money, it will be great. But what I did is I published it online. I went to lulu.com, 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 and I published my book as an ebook. It's possible to go to lulu.com, and for a smaller price than it would cost to have it printed in hardcover, you can go to Lulu and order the book and you can read it. I believe that Lulu has got a feature where you can also order it in printed format, but that will be expensive. I haven't done it. I can't do it. I don't have the means at this stage to print the book in hardcover, as I said. So I want to appeal to you, please like my channel. Please like. If you see what I'm saying here and you agree, please tell me. If you don't agree, also give me your reasons and I will gladly reply. I'm not a person who's ever been hiding or who's been trying to keep my knowledge secret or exclusive. I share it because that's what I believe the future of the breed lies in. If we don't share what we know, nobody will know. I thank you. And if you like my channel, give me a like, subscribe, and we'll see each other soon.